Good morning, traders. This was supposed to be a live trade recap or a live trade video, but there was just nothing in the pre-market here. So let's look at the screener real quick. This is the way that I always check for stocks to trade in the pre-market. Top gainers pre-market, click all, organized by volume. I'm only interested in the top 3 volume stocks from that list, and they must be low floats. So Obsv is, BB is not, SENS is not. It's close, but no, it's actually about 50% higher than my normal limit for low floats. So Obsv is really the only one. It has good volume for sure. It's the number 1 volume traded stock. You think that it would be a good stock to buy or to have a long position on, but you can see here I marked out the. Let's go to the trade screen. Look at that. I marked out the high of the aftermarket yesterday. In the aftermarket, this thing ran up to 362. So what would make it strong this morning would be breaking through that high, and that's my criteria for taking an entry. It didn't do that. What it did was, here's 8 p.m. from yesterday. Here's 4 a.m. It gapped down and then did a small run up, and this is not even a strong run. You might think it is. It looks clean and it looks strong, but it's not. This would be a super aggressive entry, and it's not an entry that I take because you're basically trading against the trend here because now this thing gapped down. And if you were being an aggressive trader, your smartest entry would have been after this candle formed, because you would have said, well, look at all this volume that came in. Higher highs and higher lows. This thing looks strong. So let's say you took an entry after this candle, which the ideal entry would be 303, and the low of this candle is 290, so your stop would likely be 289. So let's see, we'll just use the 2-hour calculator. 303, stop is 289 is it. So your target is 331. Let me just double check those numbers. Yeah. Ideal entry 303. Stop loss below the low of the candle. So that makes your target 331 with a reason. That's a reasonable risk. Anything less than 5%. The stock should go to 2R if it really is strong. But again, remember I said this is not a strong setup because it gapped down. Did it go to 331? No, not even close. It only went to 318. You're not getting 2R out of this thing at this point. So these are basically probably FOMO buyers, that saw this huge run in the aftermarket, thinking maybe it'll do that again, and maybe it will. But at this point, it's not looking promising because of that gap down. So it's not smart to just jump in. And just so you don't think I am trying to hide some risky trades that I took, show you my last filled order was yesterday at 9:48 a.m. Just move this out of the way. So that's it. This was the best that we have. If you dig a little deeper, I don't normally care about the news because if the volume and the price action is there, it's that's enough for me to trade. But I was curious because this thing is, not only is it the top volume traded low float stock, it's the top volume traded stock period of all floats. So you think, wow, this is like the best stock to be trading right now, and relatively it is, relative to the other stocks. But the fact that it's doing so poorly is showing overall market weakness and definitely low float weakness. So that just made me, try to dig a little further to see, why is this thing the number 1 traded stock, yet it's not doing anything. If you look at the news is really shady. Basically, this is an analyst, and their big news is they think this stock is going to recover. So that's not real news. Then over here, I don't have a subscription to Seeking Alpha. I don't subscribe to any news outlets. It's totally unnecessary. See if I can I can get in there before it covers it up. But you can pause the screen and read the rest, but basically this headline says that they stopped U.S. phase 3 study. To me, that's probably not a good thing. And they are talking about, the stock being down at this point. This was January 11th, a few days ago. So I'm assuming that's bad news. If it was good news, it would probably say completed a phase 3 study, not stops a phase 3 study. So we went from bad news to we think this stock is going to recover, and that generated this pump. And right now it's dumping. And that's the best thing that we have right now to trade. So just because it's the best thing we have doesn't mean take a trade, because it's not good. And back in the day, I would have probably tried to trade off of that, saying, well, it's the best opportunity we have, and you can't make any money if you're not taking a trade. And what happens 9 out of 10 times when you do that is you just donate money to the stock market. So it's not worth it. I'd rather just hold on to the money and have it in the account for when the energy comes back into the stock market. So I think that's it for me today. And just so you know, I'm not lying to you. You see, I didn't take a trade. Today's order, there's none, right? So that's it. All right, guys. So I'll be back at the open looking for opportunities and stocks that broke through their previous session high. If there are none, I won't take a trade. And we'll see you then. Take care.